Hey everyone, and welcome back to Lighten Your Load VA Support. If you're new here, I'm really glad that you found your way here. I'm Melissa Miller, a former CNA turned virtual assistant operations manager, and I help overwhelmed business owners get time back into their day by building clear, visible systems that help them work smarter and not harder. So let me start by asking you something. Have you ever written out your task list for the week? And on paper, it looks clear, reasonable, even achievable. But the moment you sit down to work, you already feel overwhelmed and stuck. Not because you're unwilling to do the work, but because your brain can't even connect with where to begin. If this is resonating with you, I want you to know right now that this is normal, okay? And I'm not here to criticize you or make you feel any guilt or shame. You're not incapable. You're not undisciplined. What's actually happening is that your brain doesn't trust your to-do list, okay? And the reason it doesn't trust it is simple. Your brain doesn't have anything visual to connect to that helps it focus and get started. So before we go any further, I want to be really clear about this. Adding more tasks to your to-do list or switching to another planning tool isn't going to fix this problem. Okay. So don't go out after this episode. Please do not go out to Google Sheets, Google Asana, Notion, whatever platform you think will be the perfect fit, and get a new subscription because you think that that will help solve the problem. That's not the case here. I want you using what you have and just tweaking it to make it work better for you. Okay, to make things more visual. That's what we're going for here. Okay, so promise me that you will not get another tool. Okay, all right. All right. So this is, and again, this isn't a tool problem. It's a too many tasks problem. It's a memory problem. Right now, you're probably relying on a mix of your own memory and the default way that most digital planning tools operate and are set up. Okay. Most digital planning tools aren't designed to give your brain what it actually needs. Most digital planning tools don't offer context, connection, and visible completion. They're built around more generic templates, and they don't go deeper into questions that your brain is asking whenever you sit down to work and when you're looking at that to-do list. It's not giving you the answers to where do I start, what do I need to connect to this task, and how can I see that I'm making progress, even if it's small, right? We like to see that we're actually making some progress on getting this list done, right? And when your brain doesn't get to see those visual cues, it doesn't lean in. It actually starts to shut down. And again, it's not because you have a lazy brain or that you're a bad business owner or that you're incapable. What's really happening is that your brain's already at capacity, between managing your business, other responsibilities, if you're a wife or a parent or a spouse, like I am, or a caregiver, and other and any other multiple personal roles that you might have in your life. Okay, insert anything that seems or resonates with your situation. Okay, and amidst all this, our brains thrive on routine. Okay, they need clear signals to know when to start, where we are at in the process, and when something is actually done. So we know that, okay, that project is done, now I can move on. And that's exactly why my 2-click visibility matters so much. It cuts down the time that you spend searching and scrolling, whether that's in cloud, Google Sheets, Google Drive, your email software platform, social media, and it gives you time back to actually work, complete, and then be able to log off from the day with an actual finished list versus a lot of half opened, half finished tasks, right? So most to-do lists are just collections of tasks, okay? They're not pathways. And your brain doesn't follow lists very well, it follows signals. So when you look at a traditional to-do list, your brain isn't seeing direction. It sees responsibility, it doesn't see where to start, it doesn't see what needs to be connected, and it doesn't see proof that anything is actually getting done, right? It's just it's trying to engage, but it can't, and instead your brain is starting to second guess. It's hesitating. That's often why you will just jump because you don't have a clear pathway. Your brain can't see the clear pathway. You'll jump from task to task. So then, after being in your office for what 2-3 hours, you have nothing to show for it because you have a lot of partially finished tasks, but nothing actually finished because your brain hasn't been able to engage with the steps that it needs to actually complete the work. All right. Or the other thing is sometimes we're like, oh, I'll just do it later. So you go binge Netflix or something like that, right? And that avoids it altogether. So that's why consistency doesn't necessarily come from trying harder or being more disciplined. Consistency comes from your brain feeling safe to focus. So that way it can see what's happening. And when progress and connection are invisible, your brain stays in survival mode. It's scanning, it's searching, and trying to hold everything together from memory at capacity, which our brains are not designed to do. And it's exhausting. It's really exhausting. And this is why I want you to start shifting the way you think about consistency. Your brain needs a map. It needs to see how it's going to get from point A to point D so it can take steady steps forward. It needs to know the starting point. It needs to know where the rest stops are or those points of completion. If you're thinking about using the visual aid of like an actual map when you're planning a road trip, right? You need to know like where you can stop for gas, where you can stop to get a bite to eat, um, where you're going to maybe spend the night, overnight in a hotel, right? If you need to break your trip up and over several days. And obviously, a to do list is very much like that, right? We don't always have projects that are done within one sitting, right? Sometimes it's a more of a chip away where we take 5 to 7 days to finish a bigger project versus just a 2 to 3 hour sprint, right? And then it also needs, our brains also need to know what obstacles might show up along the way. And this could be, and obstacles could be anything. It could be tech problems. It could be maybe your health. Maybe you get sick, or maybe your family. I'm a spousal caregiver myself, and I have a small child. So if they need something, that's going to trump my office hours because I need to be present for them. Or maybe something else, some sort of other unexpected need. Maybe a client needs something because they can't access, and so you need to drop what you're working on to obviously do admin stuff to make sure your client or students can get what support they need if they're not able to access something, or if you're doing one-on-one coaching work, giving them taking the time to answer their questions and things like that. So it could be any number of things as the obstacles that might come up along the way. And overall, again, remember when your brain can't see the path, it starts to hesitate because it doesn't know how to move forward, because it's starting to feel unsafe. And so it starts guessing, scrolling, hesitating. And then again, the consistency doesn't come from discipline, it comes from visual signals that you can give your brain of completion. So when your brain can see where you are, what's next, and when something is done, it can relax. And then you can actually start to build momentum naturally because you get a high, you get that high and kick, right? Of like, oh, I actually finished something. Okay, now I'm ready to tackle on the next thing, right? But when you don't finish or you don't know how to even go from point A to point B, it feels overwhelming and you never get anything done. So then that is why your planner tools are untouched, your SOPs, docs, everything is just left untouched and nothing gets accomplished. Okay. So, how do we fix this? How do we basically make your to do list a trustworthy thing again without adding a new tool, um, undoing everything you did, undoing everything that you don't that you've already done? So, like, guys, I don't want you to necessarily go and delete everything. Okay. Instead, let's just tweak what you got. Okay. Let's just tweak what you got. So let's talk about the fix, okay? And let's keep this intentionally simple, okay? Again, don't go and get a new subscription to a new tool. Don't add more tasks to your to-do list because I know it's already a mile long as it is. Don't start over. Let's just pick up the pieces and tweak what we can where you're at now so you can start getting some momentum back, okay? You just need to stay where you're at, okay? And you need to just give your brain a clearer map so that way you can start getting your momentum back and start actually getting some stuff done, okay? So, step one, I want you to choose one repeat workflow that you currently have right now on your docket for your uh, business. Okay, it can be anything. Okay, what happened here? All right, did I just lose? Sorry, guys, my screen just went crazy and it's giving me trouble. So here, I am so sorry, guys. Oh, my computer is just being crazy. Why is it glitching on me? Okay, see if this will work. Okay. All right. We are really having some issues here, aren't we? Okay. Hang on.